Alright. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawashi, Yahawashi, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who do rule and teach well. It's young brother here, a little exhausted. Didn't sleep too well last night. Just stressed out, but feeling a lot better today. Make sure to look at brother's videos. And, to remind myself of, the precepts, man. Scriptures like, if you're worried, rest with us. Scriptures get to this truth. This is your rest. This is where you're going to find comfort. So watching brothers and learning from other brothers, it really does help, So don't think that, brothers don't watch or things like that. So I'm on this website, BibleKnowledge.com, which is very ironic because several things that this website professes to be knowledge is actually false. So we'll just call it Bible, sort of knowledge, because they really don't know. All right, but certain things are correct, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to, start doing a little bit of dives into, the Christian doctrine, which really we're the real Christians, as we all know. Christian just means, Hamashiachim in the Paleo Hebrew, which just means the anointed one or the Christ, right? Like we know that Yahawashi, Hamashiach, he is the Christ, right? He's like, the chosen one. But us that follow him, we're just like chosen ones under him. But that chosen one is Yahawashi. He's the head, Hamashiach. Hamashiach, head chosen, okay? And those of us that are under him are the chosen ones under him, i.e. the elect. So basically this website is the basic tenets of the Christian faith. The first few things here you can skip because it's basically saying like these are basic things that all denominations of Christianity follow. Before I get into this, right, we know that, modern Christianity, if you really want to go back to everything, as I said before, the original Christians were us, which we know Israelites back then, under Yahawashi. Then they grew, with the apostles and grew out. But kind of around that time, if I recall correctly, those Roman emperors that came at them when Jake started ruling, I believe some of them treated Christians well, but I think a lot of them, for the most part, didn't really like them that much. I think even some of the Jake ones, I can't remember which one, was even persecuting them and putting them to death. I think it was Severus, or one of them was not good, they were up to some goofy shit. But, later on with the Holy Roman Empire, Constantine, they started to take down a lot of those, pagan temples and pagan things. But the problem with that is that, if I recall correctly, he was into the whole sun worship, and that was pretty much the time when they were mixing in idolatry with the scriptures, mixing the pagan stuff together with it, and they corrupted the gospel, and they were adding on to the word, which is off. That's wicked behavior, which makes sense. That's why that rulership in that kingdom didn't last. Neither did the Moors. They weren't in the right mind either. That's why they fell. So that's that. That's why this thing that we're part of now, it's not going to fall. Even when we stop camping, we're willing. I'm of that number. We're not going to fall the elect are not going to fall. All right. Like you see in the scriptures, it's already written, right? Thumbs beheaded for the, testimony's sake. But that was my little prelude. But now I want to get into this, right? So this is the first tenet. Jesus Christ is the only way to eternal salvation with God the Father. Okay, so the first thing that we need to touch on is that, Jesus Christ can't possibly be his name. Now this in itself, right, pleasing Jesus or Yahawashi, right, is the only way to eternal salvation with God the Father. That's actually true, but let's go get some things. Okay, so did you know, right, the letter J is no more than 600 years old? How can a man who lived over 2,000 years ago be named Jesus? It is impossible for Jesus to be the name of all names. Alright? 500 years young, also that image. That's also a more recent invention. Alright, you have images all around, right? Those was the Russian icons and things like that. It will show you that the images are really dark skin, alright, with woolly hair, alright? Not this, not Needhamite, alright, with long hair. No. Yeah, so see, this is all off, all wicked. These are new inventions, right? With the wicked. July 24th, the wicked, earth is given to the hand, the wicked. They cover the face of the judges thereof. Not where new is he. And they cover the face of the judges, that is Yahawashi. Replaced him with this Cesare Borgia image, false image that they created, made up. The Cesare Borgia was, he was, into, the other stuff, the funny style stuff, and he also slept with his sister, they say. But yeah. Okay. So, dictionary.com, meet the man responsible for the letter J. When was J added to the alphabet, right? J is a bit of a late bloomer. After all, it was the last letter added to the alphabet. There's no coincidence that I and J stand side by side. They actually started out with the same character. The letter J began as a swash, typographical embellishment for the already existing L. The J actually kind of looks like, what are the Hebrew characters? I think it's the Wa. Or maybe, no, it's not Wa. It looks like one of them. I'm not going to go get it. I think it may be the Pa, but I believe other Apostle Tar did say that, English did come out of the Hebrew, which it is true, all languages come out of the Hebrew, but I just wanted to say that because it does look kind of similar to something, to one of the Hebrew characters, the letter J, at least the way they have it tilted off to the side like this. So we had a swash, typographical embellishment for the already existing I. Introduction of the system. J was commonly used to denote the conclusion of a number of series 1s. Siege. X, XI. Whoops. Which is for the number 13. Yeah. So to conclude the series of 1, just basically be an ender. Let's wait for another day. Name of the dot over the J and I. Why do we use them? J's conquest for independence probably began with the sound of the letter I. Originally, the Phoenicio Pro pictogram was representing a leg with a hand. Yeah, you see, that's what I thought. It originally went back to the Paleo Hebrew, what they sometimes call they call it the Phoenician Hebrew, but it really goes back before the Phoenicians. Actually, I believe the Phoenician is a little different, so never mind that, but it's really the Paleo Hebrew. The Phoenicians is just a variation. It just came out the original Hebrew, because all languages come out the original Hebrew, because the languages are split from Hebrew when you look at it in the scriptures, bar was around before then. So, I was later adopted by Semitic groups to describe the word arm, which in Semitic language began with the J, presenting the same Y as in yes. There was no J's back then, though. Vowel J were used interchangeably by scribes to present the sound of both the vowel and the consonant. It wasn't until 1524 when Giorgio Giacchino, an Italian Renaissance grammarian known as the full letter J, made a clear distinction between the two sounds. Giacchino's contribution is important because once he distinguished the soft J sound as in jam, probably a lone sound, he was able to identify the Greek Jesus, which that's what it would originally sound like in the Latin translation of the Hebrew, okay, which is really should be Yahawashi. Now that is a dialect of Hebrew, Yeshua, but it's not the original, because there was no use back then. It's not exactly Yiddish either, it's a separate thing, but modern Hebrew does borrow elements from Yiddish as well. As a modern English, Jesus does the current phenome for J was born. It always goes back to Jesus, right? So suffice to say, his name can't be Jesus because, J was a new invention. And having that sound was a new invention. So, yeah. So I'm talking about a lot here. I think I'm going to really talk about one more thing because the confusion of this website goes deep. But, I need to sharpen my sword so I don't get fucking destroyed on highways and byways by someone that comes up. I do want to make sure I'm on my P's and Q's. Without question, the first basic tenet of the Christian faith is that, what they call Jesus Christ. Which his name is really Yahawashi, right? And his sacrificial death on the cross is the only way to be able to receive eternal salvation of God the Father, which God's name is really Yahweh. That all makes it very clear that there's no other name and no other way to get into the kingdom of God other than through his Son. Other than through the name of Yahawashi Mashiach and his sacrificial death on the cross. Alright? If any other church or denomination ever starts to preach that there are any other names or any other ways to the kingdom of heaven, suppose by the Father, other than through the name Yahawashi Mashiach that run for the hills, they will not stand to be probably corrected, as if they will fall into very heavy, serious error with Yahweh the Father, right? Which, they're actually correct on that. If they're not seeing this, then they're wrong. But really, this website's wrong too, because they're using the wrong names, and more than likely, they believe that Jesus and God are both white, which they actually are black. But I actually want to speak on this here because when they say kingdom of God and kingdom of heaven, they really mean like heaven. Like they mean something completely different. Like heaven, like the whole heaven and hell doctrine. That's what they mean. They're not meaning what we say. We say that the kingdom of heaven and the kingdom of God will be on earth, and that's where we split. And that's actually where they're wrong and we're correct. And I'm going to go ahead and prove that. You see here the doctrine of hell, right? So that's what they mean. So we're going to have to explain that because they're wrong. Alright, so I put together a topic for this. Certain things that I found. Hebrews 9:27, and this is appointed to men once to die, but after this, the judgment. Because Yahawashi only died once, and you only have to die once. Job 3:3. Let the day perish when I was born, that night in which it was said there was a man child conceived. Right? Basically saying, cursed be the day that I was born, basically. Let the day be darkness, let the Most High regard it from above, and let the light shine upon it. Why died I not in the womb? Why did I not give up the ghost when I came out of the belly? This is because Joel was going through it. Let me go back to this, right? This is really because he was going through suffering. I don't really think I should have put that in here. I can honestly remove these. But I guess technically, could add in because it tells you not to really value the day you were born, so on and so forth. But we know that, this also goes against the whole birthday doctrine and all that. Why did I not from the womb? Why did I not give it the ghost when it came out of the belly? And ghost means spirit. Joe was going through hell, which is why he said that. The Most High. You read Joel, the second chapter, the first chapter, something like that. Scene, was originally a scene. To go ahead to mess with Job. Only rule was that he couldn't kill him. Why did the knees prevent me? Why did the press desert stuck? For now I should have lay quiet, still have been quiet, I should have slept, and I had been at rest. He was dead, basically. Of kings and councils the earth, which brought desolate places for themselves. Of princes that had gold to fill their houses with silver, or has been hidden in timely birth. I had not been as infants, which never saw light. Did the wicked cease from troubling? There the weary be at rest. Did the prisoners rest together? Did not the voice of the oppressor? The small and the great are there. The servant is free. For the master before is like given unto him as a misery, and life unto the bitter soul. Yep. So it's the spirit world, man. It's a spirit world. You don't go to, like a hell or some alternate dimension. It just doesn't exist. Ecclesiastes 3:19. For that which false sons of man befall beasts, even one thing befalleth them, as the one dies, so dies the other. Yea, they have all one breath, so that man had no preeminence above beasts, for all is vanity. Yeah. All is worthless because, you all die at the end, but like the whole end of the day, Solomon said, be merry, go about your day. What Solomon said. Back then, Solomon and Yahawashi said something pretty similar, why carry about tomorrow, worry about today, basically. Yahawashi was talking about how Most High, gives the birds things to eat. Why should you worry about from day to day? Roughly paraphrasing. I'm not butchering it, but you can go look that up for yourself. But yeah, that's pretty much it for now. So that's the confusion of that. No, that's actually not it. I actually need to explain one more thing. Because when they talk about the kingdom of heaven, they mean like something like the spiritual world or something, but no, the kingdom of heaven is gonna be on earth. Okay, so Matthew 5:3. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Right? Look into the word poor. Afflicted. That's if I'm on highways and byways, but we don't have to go into all that right now. Oronos, right? Heaven. We see their happiness. Okay? Power. The kingdom of power. The kingdom of happiness. Now, other things, right? The vision about the sidereal heavens, the sea of order of things eternal and constantly perfect, where Most High dwells and other heavenly beings. Actually, you have both. You have the dimension, for the right hand, spiritual beings. You have the dimension for the left hand, spiritual beings. But that's all in the spirit world, and things go on Earth. Like there's a whole world. He goes on that we can't see. Like there's angels and demons all over the place. We have the angels. The angels can't prevent about them. They fear them. So we have angels protecting us. We also have demons. You know, getting at you, putting wicked spirits, demons, wicked spirits. Putting wicked thoughts in your mind and stuff. Messing with you, and then the people, they have demons on them, and so on and so forth. But heaven is a state played out on earth. Heaven and hell are states played out on earth. Okay. That makes me want to go get this one. Actually, no. Here you go. Hell. I'm looking for one. There's one here that see. The modern concept of hell is a product of the Roman Catholic Church, which has nothing to do with the Bible. Heaven and hell are just conditions played out on earth. Chapter 17 in the spirit world, the book sees troubling. They're in the same place as everyone else. Right? I'm looking for something in particular. We get into this one. I see a 14 and 9 hell from beneath. I'm talking about Babylon. This one meaning America. Right. Hell from beneath is removed for thee to mediate thy come, minister of the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth, raised up from the thrones. All the kings of the nations are right to the dead for thee, the Lord of the nations are rising up. Which, this is going to come eventually. Not in terms of like them rising up to fight us, but they're going to, have their own rulerships if the 1,000-year time period is over, but Esau is going to be destroyed, right? Shall wall hell beneath, which is, the grave. So going to be that hell-like state, they're going to be in slavery beneath God's whole world. One vision Esau, once he's brought down to subjection, right? They're going to want, their revenge, and, they're going to be under Eternal's rulership. Basically, this is talking about the other nations. They're going to want to get at Esau too, man. They're going to get at this damn devil too. And, that's pretty much what it means. Stir of the dead for thee, That's pretty much what that is. In the 11th verse, go to my promise brought onto the grave. Right? Also going to spread of thee, the worst cover thee. Maybe they're going to be in that hell-like state, right? Fight of America is being brought down. Right, notice of the music, war surrounding the corrosion, the infrastructure of America is crumbling. Yeah. And, it's just gonna get worse and worse and worse for them until they're in slavery in the kingdom, where it's gonna be really, really bad for them, and it's never gonna get better. Right? The rest is pretty much basically about the fall of America, of them going to slavery. So that's pretty much that. If you want more breakdowns, if I see a 14, just look it up on the internet. You'll find it. It's not hard to find. But yeah, the one that I shall